we really appreciate it. We'll take roll call. I think, Tony, you're probably working at it, so you can roll call by exception in a few minutes. But I'm really grateful that you take the time out to have a faculty meeting. Let me introduce Dr. Becky Reeder. Becky, do you have your video on? Want to talk? Where are you? Becky, I cannot see you. Where are you? Go ahead and talk, and you should pop up.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
There you are. There you are. Well, Dr. Reeder just joined us as the new program director for business. It's my pleasure to introduce her, and I will tell you she's a very good person. I know her from Art Institute days. She used to be an interim dean.
This is great.
Director of Education for Art Institute.
I can't hear anything.
She's taught online for a number of years and has a bunch of other experiences. The most interesting one to me is it's an associate degree, I think, is in culinary arts. So if you need somebody to cook up something real good to share with us in a virtual meeting, that would be Becky. Becky,
That's
do you want to say
torture
hello?
for you guys, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Say hello to the group and talk to them a little bit about your family and hobbies and whatnot.
I'm glad to be here. I've got my son turned 2 today, and my daughter is about 2.5 months. And we live in Draper, Utah. And gosh, hobbies. I don't have a lot of time for hobbies, but we like to garden. We always plant a huge garden every year, and that's about it. I don't know.
Well, awesome. And again, we're happy to have you here. So everybody, the business folks, I know you're introducing yourself to the business folks right now, and so thank you for agreeing to meet. And Sherry, do you want to take a moment and award the
I would absolutely. This is my huge, is that mine screwing up, or is it, can you guys hear me okay? Oh, come on.
Yep. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
I wanted to make sure because Larry was cutting out, so I wanted to make sure it was just mine. The AR award this month goes to someone who has worked their butt off. Every single time I have gone in Canvas to check if they've called the student, they've actually have done it just before I checked. The phone calls are being made from 7 a.m. until midnight. Done a fantastic job in the classroom. Motivated first-term students, which is always very difficult to find what motivates them. Done a fantastic job. Has been online this for more than I have. And so I'd like to give this award to Ron Reinhardt, who's done an amazing job of meeting students where they are this month.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hey, Ron. That's really awesome. You know,
Thank you.
it was a
I
unanimous.
appreciate
Unanimous. Ron, what's your secret to success?
Just staying on the kids. That's all. That's all you can do. You know, I found out I hadn't texted when I started working, but later on I started texting. I could tell it helped a lot, along with the emails and the phone calls.
Awesome. Well, again, what's really great is when I put out the call, who do you want to nominate for the award? What's really interesting is it almost always comes back unanimous. I try to do them sort of independently to get it going. And so, way to go, Ron. Yeah, we really appreciate your good hard work. It's much appreciated.
Thanks, Larry.
Carson, Kimberly, do you want to talk a little bit about advances we've been working on going to the next level with Canvas? So I've asked Carson and Kimberly to talk a little bit about what's coming our way, and we're giving you a peek into the next 4 or 5 months of what will be coming your way. Carson, take it.
Hey, everybody.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, but speak up.
Okay. All right, will do. I'll just get a little closer. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, and I'll have Kimberly chime in anything that I miss. But really, the bottom line is
Will do.
the bottom line is we're looking at digital badges and e-portfolios for the students to kind of round out the evidence-based model that Larry has implemented with Vista Online. We had a nice meeting earlier with a potential a partner that can supply these badges and or certificates, and it's really cool. These items will be awarded to the individual. We can link them to social media such as Facebook, anywhere that they would need to display competencies that they've earned, which is pretty awesome. But we're just looking at the integration. We're going to test it, see how it works, kind of pilot it, and roll it out as far as that goes. For other details, I will turn it over to Kimberly.
Okay, you guys have to excuse me. I'm remote, so can you hear me okay?
Hear you great.
Great. The other thing we're going to roll out is the e-portfolio, where the students will house their badges and certificates as well as specific artifacts that we assign them to, so that they can use the e-portfolio when they go out to jobs to display their accomplishments, just and to chronicle their life at Vista. So we're excited about introducing the e-portfolio as well as the badges and certificates. Any feedback you guys have or suggestions and ideas, please do not hesitate to email Carson and I, and we'll consider them. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Carson and Kimberly on what an e-portfolio is and a digital badge? Any questions? Okay. Let's move on. Thank you, Carson. Kimberly, appreciate it. More to come on that. You probably know that many of our programs are being converted over to the evidence-based model, which means an independent assessment. We will assess for competencies and skills, and if they have it, then they're going to get a digital badge, and that badge will be housed into the portfolio so that the student, the graduate, can show employers, we can show accreditors how we're doing. Most of all, it'll build confidence, and that confidence building and relationship building is what we're all about, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Tanya, do you want to take a roll?
Sure. If I call your name, just let me know if you're here. Cassandra McDade. Daryl Culpepper. Dave DeFabio.
Hey, I'm here, Tanya.
Thanks, Dave. Let's see. Gina Sanchez. Glenda Lloyd.
I'm here.
Thank you. James Fountain.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's here.
Thank you. Kevin Smith. Christy Wesmont.
Yes, Christy is here.
Oh, thank you.
There she is.
Did Meredith make it in? Okay. Sabrina Delonzo.
I'm here.
Sandy McDonald.
I'm here.
Tracy Eason. And Twana Ellis. Okay, I'm
Did
good.
you get Dave yet?
I'm sorry.
Did you get, this is Davy A. Did you get me?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, just checking. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is, can you hear me? This is Rick McElroy. Did you get me on the list?
Yes, I've got you. If I didn't call your name, I've already got you.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Daryl Culpepper. Did you get me as well?
I didn't. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see your names. If you call in, we can't really see it, but if you're in the Zoom account, we can see your names.
This morning, focus pending prioritization.
Whoops, I've got somebody. Okay, well, let's get started here. So today's session is a little bit on what we're doing and a reminder of where we're headed for 2018. We're making great progress in terms of student retention and graduation rates, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. We can probably have Lydia talk a little bit about that. But you know, I get some emails that say, "Oh, should I be worried about Vista College Online because of the assignments?" And the answer is no, not at all. In fact, online is growing in a really big way. We just we're almost at 500 students, and that's not where we were a year ago. And we're working on a strategy to really develop online into a major player within the Vista College system. And Art, you may want to comment on that at the end of the meeting, but some really great things are coming our way, and things are happening in a big way. And so don't worry about Vista College Online. That's not going to be the problem. The problem we're going to have is how to train everybody to make things happen so that we retain students and graduate students. And we'll talk more about that. So yeah, there's a disruption in progress. There's no question. This is not new news to anybody. For many, the iceberg is in fact melting. For many ground campuses specifically. But in the online world, online schools in total enrollment is up, and it's not up a little bit, it's up a whole lot, and it continues to grow. More and more people are wanting to pursue their education through online modalities. You know, but that said, for-profit schools are under a lot of scrutiny. That's not new news to you. And the really big message is the politicians and the community and you know, the employers, many think that formal education needs a good kick in the pants. And basically that means we just need to do a better job of demonstrating the value that we add to students. And we do add some value. But within higher education, change is not easy. It's necessary. And we have been doing that for the last while. And again, pleased to report that what we're doing is really working. And while there's a disruption going on with for-profit education, that is not affecting Vista College Online. We are growing. We need to continue to improve our people, improve processes and our programs. The programs we're revitalizing, refreshing, re-engineering programs. Right now it's the business programs, but specifically diploma and associate, and the MIBC. And we have approval to introduce a medical administrative assistant degree or diploma. We now have approval to do that. We have approval to do some other things in the business area. So we'll talk more about that later. If we focus on the people and the connection, the relationships, and focus on the processes, and what I mean by processes, notice how we have Instructor Insight, Dropout Detective, the LMS. Boy, we've come a long ways in the last 11, 12 months, and we're just now seeing the benefits of our work. And so Art and I, the team, we've developed a refresh strategy. And what is that? We're refreshing so that we can, to improve retention and graduation rates through building trust and proactive faculty and staff engagement with students. And I can't thank all of you enough. It's just a real pleasure to see an email coming from the faculty that say, hey, I've tried to reach out to these 3 students and they won't respond. The main thing is you try to reach out and you care enough to connect. That's huge, and I much appreciate it. Improving lead conversion. Some of you have said, well, I wish you'd send me a decent student so they wouldn't drop out. And the answer is we have changed our Wonderlic score to make sure that from a cognitive perspective, they are really ready to be successful in your programs. And so that's happened. Art has declined, I don't know, 5 or 6 students in the last couple of months, not going into a program because the score wasn't there and because they weren't ready when we're looking at the non-cognitive factors. So this is good news for us. Your students are you can't say that they're a bad student. As we go through, you'll find that we need to give them the opportunity to succeed. And that said, we've changed our approach there. We're focusing. Right now, we're in the process of developing an outreach, business development, corporate partnership scenario for the online division. That's a peek into the future. That's a big deal. We're focused on being fast and friendly and accurate with our students. And oh my gosh, such good work's happening on that front. We're focused on the look and sound and feel of courses. That's the refresh strategy. So I have a question for you. What's the backbone of a college, a successful college? What do you think the backbone is? Let's just throw it out to Ron, our AR winner. What is the backbone of a successful college? What do you think? Ron?
I think perseverance and understanding the concepts of how to critical think.
Okay. Kathy Richards, what's the backbone of a successful school? What do you think?
Well, obviously, I think there's a lot of things that go into it, but I would say having a genuine, caring attitude about the student's success, because without that, the other things don't really, aren't really going to make the full difference anyhow.
Love it. How about you, Ann? What is the backbone of a successful school?
Unmuting. My favorite is communication, because we have to communicate with the student on multiple levels and with each other to succeed.
There's not really a right or wrong answer, but is it books? Is that the backbone? It's a part of it, but it's not the backbone. Is it the student and the teacher? I think so. Communication, the connection, yeah. Is it career services or employment? So let's talk a little bit about that. James Porter, what's the backbone? Is it career services? What do you think?
A little bit of both, I think.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is trying to be a good role model for these students. Mm-hmm. And by role modeling, these behaviors that we prefer in a classroom, they will spread that behavior and maybe apply it to their employment situation too.
Okay. The backbone of an excellent college is people, processes, and programs. But it really is. It's the people, it's the process, and the programs. But why do our students study? Why do you think they want to go to the pain of coming to school and giving up their life for a couple of years? Why do they do that? Why? Mark, what do you think?
They want to make themselves a better candidate for a job, jobs. College degree helps with that.
Oh, interesting. Dan? Why do they study? Why do they come here? Because they like you?
That's part of it, I would say. But I also think that part of it is they no longer want to just survive in their place and status in life. They want to start thriving.
Right. Okay.
And they feel that we as instructors and Vista College as a college can take them there.
Okay. Cool. Well, Jenny, what do you think? Why do our students study? Why it gets right down to it? Why the heck?
I think
What?
part of it is that they want to be a good example for their family, their children, the other people in their lives too.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Anybody else? Why do students study? Anybody else?
Some of them actually want to learn.
Some want to learn. Yeah, so our research, shows that, hey, they want to get a job. They want to be a good example. They see the only way they can advance in life is to get the knowledge they need to get a job. So is it any wonder why the iceberg is maybe melting at some institutions? And if you think about that, because they're not focused on graduation. More specifically, maybe they're focused on graduation, but not necessarily getting a job, getting the students a job. A regionally accredited institution doesn't have to worry about placement rates, but our institution does, national accreditation. We have to place them at 70% or better. So, why they study, most of them, it's not that they want to do anything other than get what they need to be able to get a job and to be an example to their families, for sure, and all the things you said. So the backbone really is you, career services, those programs, processes, the people, the students, all of what you said is true. And why we're beginning to do so well is because we are really collaborating and working together to pay attention to people, processes, and product. So Tinto is like one of the thought leaders in retention. A lot of people refer to him. He says, this one right here, the frequency and quality of contact with the faculty, staff, and other students is an important predictor to student persistence or retention. That's really true. And you've proven it. You are proving it. And so when Lydia gets on the phone, bugs you and tries to get you to contact, or we do, or your program directors do, that issue alone is a single biggest lever that we can pull as a school to ensure graduation. And that's what we're about. We're about graduating students. We're not about taking the money. We're about giving them the knowledge they need to get the job. And that's what we do. And that lever that Tinto talks about is huge. The contact with the faculty is huge. The other thing is the prompt and feedback about performance. And that's why we're a bug about expectations when we're looking in instructor insight. We're looking, are you participating with the student, the discussion participation, and looking at that feedback? Because if those two things are really working, it's unbelievable. I'm going to give you some good news. Previously, like 11, 12 months ago, 49% of all of our drops dropped because of attendance. That was the reason system. This morning, we had 0 drops because of attendance. And we attribute that improvement is because of the frequency and quality of contact with faculty and staff and other students and the feedback level. I mean, if I could reach out and shake your hand and give you a big hug, I would do it. I know that is making a huge difference in what we're doing. And, we need to continue that. The second thing is, what do you say to a student when you get them? you know, you don't want to say, well, I noticed you weren't in class today, or do you want to say that? You know, we need to be good at advising the students between the faculty members and student services. We must stress the value of an education and, of course, talk about the policies. You know, you're going to be kicked out if you don't attend. I know that. That's all the stuff. But what we got to continually remind them of the value of their education, that an education matters, that you know, will help that person to get a promotion or get placed where they want to go. We need to talk about career options, and you know, like, I don't know a thing about allied health and the career options, but you do in the MIBC world. And as you're talking to them, you know, talk to them about the kinds of opportunities that are there for them with the education that they're pursuing. And so advising is a central part of this early, you know, frequency and quality of contact with faculty. That's huge. And the quality of contact, mostly you got to circle back and close the loop. Why are they studying? Honestly, they want to go somewhere. Well, they may not know where they can go in your field. If you were talking to me about business field, I can definitely help them to go. So, you know, we need to do mentoring of our students, and there, you know, this appreciative advising is critical. We talk of another way of saying that is confidence building, and that I'll remind us of today. The coaching, that's good, but this holistic advising, this growth mindset as you're talking with the students is really important. The holistic means is a development process that focuses on the whole student. It requires advisors to be effective and communicate. And we say we're doing a better job of communicating. That's true. And assessing their personal and vocational goals by encouraging the student to take responsibility for their progress. And you know, I think we're doing that. What I wanted to do today is remind us that confidence building is super critical. It's super critical with first-year students, and we have 70.1 or 6% of our students are first generation. It means already out the gate they're not sure they can do it, and those around them are probably telling, "Why are you going to school?" You know, build their confidence, because they believe that they can get to a better place, and I want to make sure we deliver on that promise. I know that if they graduate from us with the programs, they will have options. They will have options. I was just talking to a student the other day that graduated from a program, and she just learned that she chose not to go to the field that she graduated from, because the job that she had she was doing okay, but she told me that she just learned that the company's closing, and she said, "I'm so glad I'm not worried. I have options. I can do what I graduated." That's what we want. That's what we do. Give them options for them. So this confidence building is critical when you're talking to the students, when you're coaching them, when you're giving feedback on a paper, whatever. Got to do it. Got to, you know, let them know they're on the right track. To improve, you should consider doing X, Y, and Z, or you make that look so easy, or you're good at that, or that's perfection, or, you know, you make teaching a pleasure. That has to be sincere. I get it. But you should start out your feedback with some kind of a confidence building statement, then suggest to improve, consider X, Y, and Z, and then as you're mentoring them, as you're coaching them, remind them that there are opportunities. If you graduate, there are opportunities in your chosen field. We wouldn't be doing these programs if there wasn't a chance for employment in the field, and because again, we've got to place students at 70%. So saying that, you know, they come, they learn, and there is the possibility for them to go to where they want to go and have a better position in life. So here's something that's happened at Vista College Online. And actually, I need to update that to December. Lydia, I want you as the leader of the pack to talk a little bit about what's happened with retention and why you think that's happened at Vista College Online in the last 11 months. Will you comment, Lydia?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I guess you can see by the graph that we have made some drastic improvements in retention. Just this time last year, we were at 57% retention, and this month, if we continue to trend like we are, we'll end up at 68%. And that's tough. That's tough to move retention as much as we have in the little time that we have. I mean, our goal is still to hit 70% by April. What has led to this is this has been our constant focus for the last 12 months. We eat, sleep, and breathe retention. We are involved with our students. We've taken a more proactive approach in identifying high-risk students earlier so that we are involved with them earlier in the process. You guys as instructors are continuing to engage with these students, calling them, texting them, so that the students feel comfortable reaching out for assistance. And all of that has led to this improvement in retention. I mean, it really has been a team effort.
Lydia, thank you. And it had colleagues, as collaborators, all of us are engaged, and I cannot thank you enough. That should be music to your ears. You talk about, are we growing? Yes. The retention's there. Yes. Good things are happening. So it starts with the end in mind. Our model is data-driven now, and we have the tools in place to speak with data so that we can pinpoint opportunities to mentor students and faculty and staff. As you know, we have that. We have our programs are being re-engineered to meet and be able to demonstrate that they meet the employer expectations. Our service is absolutely fast, friendly, and accurate. I love it. It's just really it's just great. And then we are in the process of developing valid assessment, independent assessment, so that we can show everybody what we do. And the data should be able to show, who's at risk. We have that with Dropout Detective. You have that with Dropout Detective in your courses. With the assessments, some of you have had a little bit of experience. It's more and more as we go, but the strength and weakness and opportunities are a report that you can actually use to mentor students and pinpoint opportunity. How are we doing as a faculty? And oh my gosh, it's so great to see you're so engaged, and it's great. Students really appreciate it. And as you know, that's a big deal, according to Tinto, how you're engaged and connected with the student makes all the difference in persistence. Here's an example of an assessment that we're getting now in our evidence-based courses, and you can see we're able to look at how that class does overall, the course does, and an individual score. And then it breaks it down even further to where we can see where we need to focus. And you can see where you need to focus to help the student. And we can look at this and say, oh boy, the book's wrong, the resource is wrong, whatever. That's the kind of data-driven organization that we're becoming. And this is a real first. It's a whole lot different than just giving an A on a paper. We can see that this student has street smart. She can apply the concepts, but she's not really remembering this stuff. And so, is that the fault of the learning resource? Is it the need to help the student to understand how to take it in and remember? So, yeah, I think you get the idea. The long and the short, happy students equals more students, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Our iceberg would be melting, except for at Vista College Online. Our students are pretty happy, and they're saying it in the surveys. It's pretty awesome what we're seeing. And so happy students, we retain them. Happy students, we graduate them. Happy students tell others about what we do, and the referrals goes up. So it's all good. It's all headed in the right direction. Now remember this, tuition may be expensive, and it isn't for everywhere, but if we deliver on our promise, the career is priceless, just priceless. I don't know about you, but I'm so glad I completed my degrees, because I've had a nice, enjoyable career as a result of the education that I paid for. And that's what I want our students to have, is a nice career as a result of the education that they're paying for, and for us to deliver on our promise. So we're in the process of revitalizing our programs and our services. We've come a long ways, and what our movement is the strategy, evidence-based learning, and service expectations, evidence-based, so that we can make decisions, pinpoint opportunities for improvement, and continually improve. That's going to give us a competitive advantage, and already is. It will improve retention. You just saw what Lydia showed you. Our graduation rates, oh my gosh. Dirk, are you on the call by chance? Are you there? I don't know that you are. Are you there, Dirk? I'm not sure that I saw you. Well, he reported this morning. Well, in fact, Lydia, you are. What did Dirk report on graduation rates?
I don't have them in front of me to give you the exact ones, but I can tell you that our graduation rates are far above where they were last year. And we have a bunch of graduates that are ready to come out every month. We have bigger and bigger numbers to graduate, so they will continue to go up.
Yeah, it's like exponentially better at this point. It's huge. And I hate to use the huge word, but it's exponentially better. And our graduation rates are up, but you know, our placement rates, that's a real big focal point, is you know, if we can place them, then that'll make them happier. If the students are happy, we will retain and we'll continue to grow. So what I wanted to do today really was just take a moment and suggest where we're going, let you know that we're making great progress, and I'm very grateful that you're all on the team helping us to go where we need to go. With that, Art, do you want to conclude the meeting?
Sure, Larry. First of all, thank you for your leadership in the academic area. Thank you, program directors, for your leadership. And thank you individually, the faculty members that have made all this possible. These are extreme improvements. The TTM retention year over year has improved over 21%. Larry's numbers, if you were to take them through December, are 67%. We're at 67% TTM right now. And to Lydia's point, 68 if we continue to track where we are. And if Dirk were on the call, he'd tell us that if we continue with what we're doing, we're looking at a overall retention of 70% by April 2018. That's extraordinary. If we were to go back 2 years, our improvement over a 2-year span of time is actually 35% improvement. So kudos to you all. That's incredible work. And it does not happen without great faculty. It does not happen without us doing a great deal to improve our curriculum. And it does not happen unless our student services people engage with our students. So continue to care, continue to do your job, continue to lead, and we'll be in great shape. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. Well, you matter. It's all about you guys. So I can't thank you enough for what you do. Talk to you all next time.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Thank you.
Larry. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Take care.